Good afternoon. My name's Ryan Hoglund, and I'm the Director of Ethical Education at a K-12 independent school in Salt Lake City, Utah. Started with the Village about a year ago, the Community Village program, and cannot speak more highly of it. Not only were Dr. Hodgkins and Nedra just amazing facilitators, but in terms of creating a sense of community, it was more than a classroom. It really became a family over the course of our time together. My wife and I transracially adopted in 2009. It's an open adoption, and just we're looking for resources just to be a little more culturally competent, and found that it was in raising a black child that it was more than just kind of being in a situation where it was kind of do no harm, but we knew that we needed to raise her with a positive sense of identity, and a strong sense of identity, right? That she's proud of her blackness and being a black woman. That's just really important to my wife and I. In terms of kind of what I've gotten out of the Village, is not only a sense of community, but also a sense of that this is a complicated process for sure, that transracial adoption, and we knew this when we adopted Meg, that it was going to be complicated, and we're kind of happy to have it be complicated, but knew that we didn't always have the answers, and I think that vulnerability is an important kind of place that my wife and I are, and Community Village really gave us a sense of some tools and resources to help Meg not feel like pressure to assimilate into family or to be like put down pieces of herself, but that she was comfortable to be herself and to be able to be with other families who transracially adopt, for Meg to come into a space with other kids and to see family structures like ours, I think really helped her feel less self-conscious and more empowered in her identity. And to be honest, I was really troubled when we first adopted, and as I was looking for transracial adoption playgroups, just how many assimilation models there are out there, meaning that it was maybe not seeing kids as children of color, and this idea that that raising a transracially adopted child would be like raising any child, and in some ways very much so, but in some ways it is more complicated, and it's important that people are aware of that, and that to find Community Village, a program that was really looking at an acculturation model that would give not only my wife and I more confidence to navigate black spaces, to explore black culture and affirm black culture, was just incredibly reassuring and really a gift in my life. I can't speak to the gift that it's been more highly. It's that I'm a braver dad because of Community Village, and that's a gift that will keep on giving for the rest of my life. Meg's the most important thing to me, and I can see in the spaces that we travel that she's not always affirmed in those spaces, and to know that when we were going to meet, there was going to be a space where she is affirmed was just really, really important to me. And I'm more confident and confident and vulnerable, right? I think that's an important kind of piece of this, is that there's a confidence that I have in terms of raising Meg and just the ability to research and where the resources, but also a vulnerability that I'm not going to always have the answers, but that it truly, I have a community that I can go to help find the answers, and sit with them. That's been really, really helpful. And there's a lot of things I can do now that I couldn't do before in terms of being held accountable to, and this is something that happened really early on in Village, is that, right, I felt like, okay, as long as there's representations around the household and we're exposing her to Black culture, but it really kind of helped hold me accountable to make sure that I'm in more predominantly Black spaces, and that I'm comfortable and vulnerable in those spaces, right? So we attend a predominantly Black church at least a couple of times a month. It's been kind of helpful, and yeah, the first time we went, it was a little awkward for sure, but um, I was comfortable in that, right? Because it really gave me the empathy of probably how Meg feels at least a few times every day, and that awareness and that ability to name it for both of us, I think, is just a gift that I'm really humbled by and just really really thankful. Community Village has really made us a stronger family, and I think a stronger resource for a daughter. That I can't thank Dr. Hodgkins and Nedra enough. They've not only just been good resources, but just good friends in the community, and I'm just really appreciative of them. They're doing a great job and doing great work in the community that really needs it. As transracial adoptions are becoming definitely more popular and are definitely going to happen more and more. And I know it's complicated, but it's if they're going to happen, they need to happen like this. They need to happen in a space that affirms Blackness, that doesn't ignore it, that helps children and adults understand the nuances of being racialized in America and have the confidence to speak about it, but also interrogate it and to really be accountable and confident in the spaces that we travel. So I just really can't thank Village enough. It's changed my life and changed the way that I parent in such a positive way.